Back again, you really thought your brother had a few nicks and bruises and maybe a few cuts and burns, but we just keep on bouncing back. Your brother went to deliver some packages today, specifically the book that your brother has produced and is now the author of. I noticed that all of the post offices were closed, and I was trying to figure out what in the world is going on. So I went ahead and Googled it, and it said, oh, today is Christopher Columbus Day. So because of this high level of disrespect that they continue to perpetuate across this entire country and the world, I decided, due to my inconvenience, due to your inconvenience, and due to the slap in the face of all the natives across this earth, I wanted to go ahead and destroy this nonsense with this video. So we're going to go ahead and furthermore, from now until forever, his name is no longer Christopher Columbus. His name is Mr. Steal Your Land. Hashtag it, hashtag it, hashtag it. In addition to this, let's make this very clear. Today is not the Christopher Columbus Day. Let's be very specific and razor sharp accurate when it comes to this description. It is Taino Genocide Day. It is also Indigenous Peoples Day. Get it straight. Shout out to all my brothers and sisters over at Standing Rock, North Dakota, when we stood together against the current colonizers, against them trying to steal the oil and destroying the native land over in the Dakotas. Shout out to my family. I was there with you, and we still with you in spirit. Yes, to make it very clear, yes, they were trying to drill underground, under native burial grounds and cemeteries, not caring for the disrespect, of course, to take the oil. Donald Trump's company was invested with the company, the Oil Trading Partners. They had some mercenaries there. They were not police officers, and the sheriff couldn't really do anything about it. There was a lot of insane things going on, but your brother was down there with the Chumash tribe, with the Machika tribe, with the Standing Rock Sioux tribe, the Lakota Nation, many of them, and we were standing against it. And so, yeah, I just want to make sure we're very clear on that they are still to this very day disrespecting the natives, disrespecting us, disrespecting everybody. But let's go ahead and destroy this individual by the name of Cristobal Colon. Hey, hold on, Reason. What name was that you just gave? Well, let's be very specific. In English, his name is Christopher Columbus. In Italian, his name is Cristoforo Colombo. In Spanish, his name is Cristobal Colon. Just to be specific. Brother over here working on them rolls. It's a lot of work. Christopher Columbus, born in the year 1451 and died in 1506, who was an Italian Spaniard and who also happened to be Jewish. Very shrewd and wicked man who was given authority in 1492 after having been broke because he had pitched an idea to many of the different European leaders to go and discover the new land, to get gold and to find spices and all these different things from the indigenous people. But no one really wanted to give this dude any play. Nobody wanted to invest in him. They said, you're insane. Even his own son, Diego, was losing faith in his own father. To be clear, Christopher Columbus was going all around Europe. Specifically, he gave his medieval pitch to the King of Portugal. He went to England and all these different places trying to get money to get invested in so that he could go on this voyage to the New World. This dude was going around for at least 20 years trying to get the money and the resources to make this thing happen, and almost every single person, ruler, king, monarch, whatever, was turning him down. But it wasn't until he and his son Diego were almost broke and penniless and dusty and hungry and everything, where they met up with two monks who took them in. Specifically, the monk who helped him was one by the name of Father Juan Perez. Why is this important, you might ask? Well, specifically, Father Juan Perez, one of his jobs and duties was to listen to the confessions of the Queen of Spain. And who was that? Queen Isabella, who was married to King Ferdinand. Basically, Father Juan Perez helped to blackmail the Queen so that Christopher Columbus could get into the royal court of Spain to make his pitch. And basically, this is right when they pushed the last of the Moors out of Granada, out of Spain. And that is when they said, we want to go ahead and expand. So we will go ahead and supply this individual with all this. So before we go into anything else further, you must know of something called the Doctrine of Discovery. This is a collection of papal bulls, or official edicts, official orders that came down from the Catholic Church between the year 1452 and 1493, basically saying that any lands that you discover, saying this to all of the European nations, right? Any lands that any of you discover that are not ruled by Christian rulers is yours for the taking, and these people are less than human. So you do not have to regard their lives with any importance. You can simply kill and rape and murder and pillage and steal and take whatever you want, because you're not dealing with human beings. You are dealing with savages or pagans. They gave all these different descriptions, basically saying the indigenous people ain't nothing but a bunch of animals, and you can take whatever the hell you want to take. You need to know about that before we go into the next part. All right, Doctrine of Discovery, papal bulls, All right. Also need to know about the 100-year plan sent down by Queen Isabella. Just understand that there is so much information that goes behind this that when people say, let us have Christopher Columbus Day, it baffles me to the core. Christopher Columbus was given money, a crew, and multiple ships to make these 4 different trips from 1492, 1493, 98, and 1502. Intention was to find an all-water route from Europe west to Asia, but of course he never found that, and he ended up landing in what is known today as the Americas. One of the first places that Christopher Columbus landed was a place known as Haiti, or Haiti, where the people there were the Arawak Indians, referring to the Locano and the Taino people. And Christopher Columbus tried to have them give him their gold, give him all of their resources, etc. But of course, you know how we do as the original people. We were not going for that. So they were fighting against him, which gave him the justification, which he already had the intention to do, which was to go to war with the people. He started to kill and murder the people, starting off with at least 20 hunting dogs, horses, and of course, many different guns. They mowed down the people. The people were being ripped apart by these dogs. He had the soldiers run the people over with horses, etc., etc., and of course, rape the women. Specifically, the 10 to 12-year-old girls was the specialty that they truly enjoyed. Hence that high level of pedophilia that we discuss. Matter of fact, for a gift and as a reward for the soldiers who were killing successfully, were doing all of these things that he ordered, he would give them little girls for sexual slavery, and even little boys as well. This is who you want us to celebrate. If you are watching this video and you are becoming angry because we are attacking your so-called holiday, just understand that by now you should really understand the trend of most of your holidays or supposed holy days being based off of murder, genocide, lies, rape, etc. Get used to it unraveling and let the truth flow. Christopher Columbus himself said that in the name of the Holy Trinity, we will now be able to deliver as many slaves as we need. And of course, the Holy Trinity referring to the Bible. And in the Bible, it also says, the truth shall set you free. So if you're a Christian, you should be very happy that you're watching this. Fed some of the people who they murdered and killed to the dogs as dog food, as stated by the soldiers. And they had murdered at the end of this entire war an estimated 3+ million Arawak Indians. This is what you want people to celebrate. For Columbus and all of the other colonizers and all of the other supposed discoverers were so insanely driven by a gold rush. They were driven by this insatiable thirst for gold, so much so to where when he was taking the gold and when they robbed Haiti and all these other lands of all of their gold, this is what he said. Gold is most excellent. Gold constitutes treasure, and he who has it does all he wants in the world and can even lift souls to paradise. It gets even deeper. When he wrote to King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella after he had successfully discovered or raped and robbed some of these areas, this is what he said to them, referring to the indigenous people, of course. They are well built with good bodies and handsome features. They do not bear arms and do not know them, for I showed them a sword. They took it by the edge and cut themselves out of ignorance. They have no iron. Their spears are made out of cane. They will make fine servants. With 50 men, we could subject them all and make them do whatever we want. Here, there are so many of these slaves, and although they are living things, they are as good as gold. This is who you want us to celebrate. It baffles me just how interestingly ignorant people choose to be in 2019 going into the year 2020. We focus on so many different things and focus and celebrate these supposed holy days, which are horrific days. These are not times to celebrate rapists and murderers and pedophiles. And on that point of the pedophile statement that I made, let us go ahead and back it up with the words of Cristobal Colon himself. Shall we? Quote from Christopher Columbus himself. 100 castellanos are as easily obtained for a woman as for a farm. It's very general, and there are plenty of dealers who go about looking for girls. Those who are 9 and 10 are now in demand. End quote. Pedophile. After each soldier did good work under the authority of Christopher Columbus, he would award them again, as I said earlier, with their very own sex slave. And under Christopher Columbus, there was a boom in the sex trafficking of little girls all across the world. So, This is who you want to celebrate. Every single one of these supposed holy days have to be ripped apart and the truth must be told. Because his story books are not going to teach this. We have to teach the children the truth so that we can be risen and awakened as a people. White folks don't even know most of this stuff. Y'all need to know too. Before you say anything about Brother Reza Islam being racist, remember earlier when I said that this main justification for doing all this to all of these people was that they are not human beings because they're not Christians. Remember that? The Papal Bulls, the Doctrine of Discovery, 1452 to 1493 under the Catholic Church, Pope Nicholas V, etc., etc. Well, remember this, understand this. They called them savages. This is one of the words that they described to describe that they're not human beings. They are savages. Well, in the United States Constitution, pardon me, the Declaration of Independence, under all men are created equal. If you go down 30 lines below that statement that all men are created equal, you will see something which states the merciless Indian savages. And you wonder why they still don't get too many rights today, like many of us don't get too many rights. Should I say we're still being attacked? We're still being treated as less human? Well, the Declaration of Independence itself still states that we are savages, just to be clear. And last but not least, Christopher Columbus, for anyone who wants to know, never stepped foot in North America, the place where we live today. He never put his foot on this land. He stepped into the Americas, but he never reached North America, just to make that very clear. Some references that everyone should need and everyone should study, everyone should dissect. Number one, They Came Before Columbus is a book written by Ivan Van Sertima. He also did a few lectures on this on YouTube. Study that. Number two, again, the Papal Bulls. 1506 is when Christopher Columbus passed, but 1452 to 1493 is all of the collections of the Papal Bulls. You have to get those. You have to get all of the books which go over all of the statements of Christopher Columbus. This is something everyone should study because it's going to help you to understand exactly what's going on here and the Catholic Church's authority and the Vatican and America and Europe and the gold over with Queen Elizabeth, and all these things are tied up in us being savages as a language, and of course the Christian laws or the Christian law codes. There's so much that people need to know about this. But make sure you check out all those references, number one. And also, number two, stop following these damn supposed holy days. I'm telling you right now, if the post office was open, if I did not have to get stopped from mailing off all these books to all of the people who have been waiting for them, I might not have done a video. You know, I could have just left y'all alone. You know what I'm saying? I might have just chilled out and just relaxed. No, I was going to do the video anyway. You know damn well I was going to do the video. You're celebrating Christopher Columbus, you're celebrating rape. If you're celebrating Christopher Columbus, you're celebrating murder. If you're celebrating Christopher Columbus, you're celebrating genocide. If you're celebrating Christopher Columbus, you are celebrating pedophilia and sex trafficking. Just to be straight. So enough with this nonsense. Just like LA changed it from Christopher Columbus to Indigenous Peoples Day, that's what it is. Indigenous Peoples Day. If you are Indigenous, throw your tribe up, show some love to the Great Spirit. 1 time, 2 times, 38 times, 1,000 times. And if any of you know some Indigenous brothers and sisters, pay respect.